On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out if Superman can stick the landing with Lex Luthor in his hands, if the DC Gunniverse sticks the takeoff with Creature Commandos, and if Mike, Caitlin, or Clark cried more during the Superman and Lois finale. All of that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. Hello, nerds, and welcome to the Superhero Show, the only podcast on the internet that has only the conversations about TV shows based on comic books that we want to have. By we, I of course mean me. My name is Ryan, and I think I'm here by myself tonight. Cassie's not here. She took the night off. She went to her 422nd Jimmy Buffett concert, which is crazy because I believe he's dead. And so, oh no, wait, I'm seeing here, it's not Jimmy Buffett, it's Jimmy Buffet. They are eating his dead body. That's so disgusting, Cassie. I'm going to have to make a ring-a-ding-ding real quick. Beep, 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 beep. Caitlin, hello?
Hello.
Can you come in real quick? Cassie's not here.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Can you bring my blanket?
Yes, but it's not coming back the same way that you gave it to me.
What the fuck does that mean?
I pooped on it.
Okay. It had Caitlin poop on it before, so that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Do we bring anybody else in?
Can I call my friend?
Why don't you, are you going to like triangulate me in or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to put you on hold really quick, okay?
Sure.
Okay. Beep, boop, 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 beep, beep, beep.
Hello, this is Ryan. You called Ryan.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Let me put you back on hold. I was trying to make a call.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to put you on hold again. Boop, 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 boop.
Hello?
Hi. Friend?
Caitlin?
Hi. It's me.
I haven't heard from you in months.
I know.
Are you letting me out? Am I allowed out?
I think it's time.
Oh my God, thank God. It was so dark. It's so dark down here.
Hey, you're talking a lot right now. I'm going to have to put you on hold. I'm going to have to grab someone else real quick. Can I put you on hold real quick?
Please, just don't leave me in here for too long.
Okay, cool. Beep.
Hey, Caitlin, who'd you call?
Hey, Ryan. I called a friend. I'm going to patch him in right now.
Okay.
Beep. We're all here.
Please don't do that to me again. It's so dark.
Hey, is this Mike?
Ryan?
No, I'm here, buddy.
Ryan Ryanson, is that you?
Can I? Yes. Of the Vikings, Ryanson, of course. Mike, can I ask you a question? Are you surrounded in blankets that are filled with Caitlin's poop?
Yeah, I've been buried under a mountain of poop-filled Caitlin blankets for months, I think. And I was every once in a while, a faceless voice would whip me with those blankets and say, "You're never getting out," and I would have to drink tepid water and barely.
Oh, Mike,
any
that
toast.
was me.
Oh, good. No, okay. The scary part was not knowing. So
Yeah.
I honestly thought we were going to spend a couple minutes of this intro trying to figure out if it was Caitlin or not, but mystery solved.
No,
mystery solved.
it was me.
I don't know why she called me when I've just been in her cellar.
I had to keep the mystery up for just a little bit longer.
God, no, I'm glad for 30 more seconds.
Yeah.
Plus, A24, Bloomhouse, the rest. I feel like having a phone in the cellar is part of that. Yes?
Yeah. I would talk to friends that I haven't seen in 30 years on that phone. I don't know if they were real. Hey, Zach.
That's the ultimate torture.
Hey, DC. Were you real or in my head? Who knows? Are those real friends from when I lived in Philly? Yes.
Oh, so you had Zach and DC Slater, and
Yep.
these are real people
Zach
that
Morris
you knew?
and DC Slater were my real friends when I was at Bayside in Philly. I don't understand.
Mike, real quick, let me ask you a question, because I do have to get out. I miss you, bud, but I do have to get out of here. Did you watch any, when you were trapped, any Creature Commandos?
Yeah, I was giving wooden tokens that I was allowed to hand in for TV time.
Oh my God, yes or no question.
God damn. I'm sorry, I haven't talked to humans in so long, and I no longer think Caitlin is one of them. Yes, I watch Creature Commandos.
Caitlin, did you watch any Superman and Lois?
I absolutely did.
What a jam-packed show we have. Mike is out of the cage, and he's doing just fine. All of that, plus Caitlin, plus Ryan, and Superman, and Lois, and Creature, and Commandos, and more when we come back. On the penultimate episode of Superman and Lois, Lois heads to Stryker's to see if she can get Mannheim to help her take down Lex Luthor. Meanwhile, Clark is told that the boys will never have his full powers, as they are only half Krypton. 40 minutes later, Clark realizes that there are two of them and they should work together. And then on the final episode, Superman has his final battle against Bizarro, then against Lex Luthor, and then against mortality. Lois has her final battle with cancer, and the boys have their battle against their worst enemy, condoms. Taste buds, I ask you this. Here we go. Does anybody know what's coming? Did Superman and Lois stick the landing?
Oh, wow.
I never in a million years could have expected that question.
We watched 2 hours of stuff, but I would like to up front go right to the last 10 minutes.
Okay, good, because I have different thoughts. I started the Tyler Hoechlin is just narrating, and then everybody's getting older. I was like, all right, come on, show. And I love this show, but I've been in and out. And by the end, I was like, I'm not crying because old Kyle is trying to save old Clark from dying right now. Oh, he died, and he's seeing everybody when they were young and happy. Oh, fuck. You got to give a show a certain amount of rope, and I think it earned that with how charming most of its core cast was.
And I mean, when you say rope, let's talk about the rope that is tied to your heartstrings and is pulling as hard as it can. Sometimes that's manipulative. Sometimes you can see it happening and it still works.
Yes.
Caitlin, was there a dry eye in the house?
No, I was absolutely sobbing. But do you want to know what got me? Fucking crypto.
Yeah, come on.
I have in my notes, Caitlin will say, you know what got me? Crypto. And it's not the classic comic book white dog. It's a goddamn stupid idiot golden retriever, the most dog-ass dog of all time.
He looks so happy and stupid.
In the first season, did he not have fucking crypto? Like, I swear to God, in season 1, he had a crypto, and then it just disappeared. And then I thought that was why he was like, man, I should have gotten a dog. Why have I never had a dog before? So I'm wondering if that's a callback.
You're thinking of his very tiny dog, like from the bottle of Candor, named Crouton, and it fell in his salad, and he ate it. I honestly, I cried more in that part.
We've all been
when he ate a fucking crunchy dog.
When the dog part came in, I was like, okay, you fucking got me. I know your wife just died, but oof.
And he's cuddling with it in his marital bed. Weird. Let that go.
Oh, yeah. In this same way. And then when that dog turned towards the camera and said, Daddy? God, it got me so hard. There's this thing that we always talk about where, like, a joke that's dumb, but it goes on for so long that then it becomes funny. And that doesn't work anymore because now we all know that trick. But this was so maudlin and so emotional for so long that at a certain point I was like, all right, fuck it. You want to have Clark come in and touch Lex's arm gently? You know what? I'll fucking get the goosebumps, okay?
I thought they were about to stand up and, like, bro, hug it out. I was really glad they didn't. I still think that was, like, the misstep of that chunk. I am glad that they had young Jordan and Jonathan show up. Because when he was hugging the two guys we just fucking met, I was like, I actually don't give a shit. That's when I was like, this is stupid, and this is going to always be stupid.
Any moment with older Jonathan and Jordan, I was like, who the fuck are these guys? One doesn't even have curly hair.
Caitlin, were those the two guys from Supernatural?
Honestly, I was looking at them, and I was like, are these from Teen Wolf? Like, they look like Teen Wolf boys.
Are these Teen Wolves? One of the Jonathan or Jordans, the older ones, is married to Bitsy Tulloch. So
for fucking real, looked exactly like her.
Not related to her, married to her.
But you know when you're married long enough, you start to look like.
Her in her old ass makeup turned around and looked at her husband as her son, and according to the internet that I read, I bet they fucked after that.
It did wasn't it unfair how for a while at least Lois and Clark, the way they were aging and they still looked hot just with some silver in their hair, and then their two doughy faced sons grew up to be fucking worse property brothers. Like, it felt unfair the way. I guess that's the human in them, not the Kryptonian in them.
They were like young Henry Cavills. Like, I was like, what the hell is this?
They both look like they applied to something on, not even Facebook, like Craigslist, that said, we're looking for Superman porno actors. And they were the first to sign up. And it did take something out of it, but I have to say that it would have taken more out of it if they took the original John and Jordans and aged them up, right?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Like, you hit a certain age and you can, like, Tulloch and Hoechlin can just range. They can go a little younger or a little older depending on the makeup, and it'll look decent. But the boys are young enough and still have, like, the baby fat cheeks enough. They got that bukkake fat that you can't make them look old.
Fat. How much weight did you gain from your last bukkake? But with women, what you do is you make the glasses bigger and the hair shorter.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then with men, you have to like sort of just sprinkle the gray in.
Add the Trivago dust.
Add the magic Trivago dust, which Mike has to get laid. But the other thing too is that what they should have done is like balding, right?
Yeah.
Like, how come when people age, it's always with like the crinkles in the eyes? Lose the hair.
He had perfect hair the whole time.
It would have
the
been
whole
Gets
time.
a haircut every third day.
Giving Superman George from fucking Seinfeld haircut would have been hilarious.
And he didn't even die of natural causes. He just hung himself.
But do you know what I liked about the very, very long, very, very maudlin section? The amount of space they gave to breathe. He's narrating, but he long pauses in between and just letting the music and the golden hour and slowly going through the Kent household.
It's closer to like a one act
Yeah,
that you would see live than it is like something that you would see at the end of a CW show.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we got most people back. Jonathan and Jordan are now replaced by porn actors, and we did not get Sam.
We know because Sam died before
He's dead,
Clark, so it doesn't.
Well,
count.
yeah, but I mean, when Superman's in heaven, I thought that they could do a little waltz.
Well,
or
he
something.
actually kind of always hated Sam, so Sam's not in his heaven tree.
And then the other person that we didn't get is, and you guys would know, but I don't know if he was important enough, but remember the brother who then moved to a bar?
Yes, Towel.
Yeah.
And the actress
His name is Towel.
Towley.
Towel.
Towel.
And
The
Nat.
driest guy in Krypton.
Nat she must have gotten a different job and been like, I'm not fucking coming back. Because in the last few episodes, John Henry's daughter is just not around unless it's CGI.
She's there, but she's barely not there.
I mean, and they did what a show does, which we'll wrap up Eric and what's his husband, his wife's name?
Who's Eric?
I'm sorry, Kyle and
Chrissy.
Chrissy's. We'll do that a couple episodes earlier, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna, and then Kyle's daughter. We'll wrap that up. She's gonna move to Greece or whatever. But for Natalie, just fucking.
She showed up as a
You fuck
CGI silver suit. And that's that. Do you know what got me when I was I was a little emotional, and then it faded. And then he's like, and friends, and it was Chrissy and Kyle, and I was like, Chrissy and Kyle, what about fucking Lana and John Henry? What are you talking about, Chrissy and Kyle?
For fucking real.
And then when he said family, more tears. It hit me again because it surprised me.
No, I'm so angry I'll never have tears again. Oh my god. Oh my
We're
god.
more than friends. And then Lois
His
looked
parents weren't
sexy.
there either.
His young boys introduced him
Oh,
to
yeah.
sexy Lois.
But did we ever meet Pa, or we only saw Ma die?
I think we saw Paul briefly in the first episode, and I think he died. Or he had died before the first episode. I can't remember.
And I love Clark is such a romantic that he falls down and he's like, "Oh God, I'm gonna die where my pa died." That's not romantic. Okay, hell of a send off, but we would be remiss if we did not talk about the first 90 minutes of this 2-hour Superman movie, which I would say ranks among the best Superman movies of all time, and talk about the battles. Let's start it off with Bizarro, who at the end of the penultimate episode forces Clark to look at his family and say, "I love you," before he gets wiped the fuck out. To me, that was sadder than anything that happened in the last 15 minutes. But we start with their battle. And you guys have to refresh my memory because I do a lot of these podcasts. Have I noticed before that this villain is the combination of the two worst villains, Bizarro and Doomsday, and they're combining them together so they're an actual good villain?
You've maybe not noticed, but you keep saying Bizarro and it's clearly Doomsdarrow, and I don't know why. But yeah, there was earlier in the season, Lex, somehow Lex and Bizarro learned, if Lex kills Bizarro, he comes back looking less and less like Tyler, and gains like bone growths, and so he's slowly turned into Doomsday. My biggest beef with this is the finale is it was so close to episode 2 of this season of Doomsdarrow beating the living out of Superman, and they're like, you know what? Play it again. We paid for the CGI once. Let's do that again.
Yeah, so Mike, there's a lot of things that inspire main characters, and one of those is the series is coming to an end. And so now it's time to actually do it. Were you really disappointed by this fight?
No. I was not.
It was fun. It looked cool, but I was like, didn't we do this almost beat for beat? But now Lex is cackling behind him. Like, it just seemed like it could have been more Lex focused. And I don't know. It seemed like, all right, we'll bring that guy out once again. But this time, she can't say, look at me, you remember me.
Caitlin, take us to the fight. They have a plan to lure Doomsdarrow
Bazoom
back, and he gets hit with a hammer in the face. Was this worth it?
I fucking love that. I was like, oh, because it was a family working together, and I think that was the cool part of watching Jonathan, Jordan, and Superman all work together to take down Bazoom, and John Henry, Natalie, Lana, all of them. Actually, fucking Natalie was not there. But they all worked together in order to take down Bazoom. And then he had to do the thing that he has to do, which is throw Bazoom in the sun.
Yeah. Well, that's the plan.
Yeah.
But not to go to moments of the week, but takes Bazoom up to the sun, and they make eye contact. And Bazoom is like, oh, my God, all the stuff I've done. I know who you are. I know who I am. You don't need to throw me. Just a gentle push, baby. Just a boop right into the sun.
And Creed just plays. I know it didn't really, but that's...
But it's sort of always playing in your house.
A divorced dad playlist just on repeat.
a slowed down kids choir version of "Get This Funky High from a Yellow Sun."
I hope Superman and Lois is not famous enough to get super memed, but I hope there's like a million different songs on, so like defying gravity. But no, I thought that was the perfect end of just Clark. I think this part leads to Clark being like, maybe I don't have to be the emergency person and the power person, but I'm going to be the person who comes in ahead of time, which is where we get towards before it gets sad. Clark and Lois decide that they're going to solve emergencies before they happen. Mm-hmm. And I think that Bazoom is a part of that.
It is. It took throwing Bazoom into the sun and almost dying. And then Clark is like, oh, man, kids are starving and cops are bad. He never realized that until right now. That had never... He even says, he's like, and the world changed. It had never been like that before. I was like, I get why Bruno Mannheim is mad at you and Lois, man. You
when
fucking
he said
kidding
that,
me?
I was so confused when he said that, because like all the stuff he was showing, it's like we've been seeing this forever as
it's
people.
Weird to show real footage from real things around the real world.
Oh, that threw me for a loop, where the little girl with the red dress from Schindler's List is just part of this montage. But no, I mean, that happened in the penultimate episode where Mannheim is talking to Lois, and he's like, man, it's really bad for a lot of people out here. And she's like, what? I'm sorry, what? I have not heard of any of this.
But what I like about this show, and it's done it since day one, is Bruno Mannheim likes Lois. Bruno Mannheim fucking hates her husband, and he can separate the two of them. I think a lot of other adaptations and versions do not do that. There's not that much nuance to the villain's relationship with these people.
Oh, Caitlin and I do that a lot when we hang out with your wife.
Wait.
Nah, it's fine. Don't do the math on that one. Let's talk about Jordan and Jonathan together and their finale. We get the ultimate finale, which I did get spoiled for me, of these 5 supermen flying through the sky. But they go from, brothers who have a lot of animosity, and then this is the these are the 2 episodes where they start to work together. Did that work for you, or when they looked at each other and said fraternals, did that ruin all of it?
I actually really thought that was hilarious and I loved it. The first time when Jordan said, he's like, fraternals, and it's like he's like embarrassed but also like excited about it, and everyone's like, this is dumb, and then they together say it. I'm like, this is so dumb, but I love it because it's dumb.
It is dumb, but if you understand the world of this show, they're dumb. And Sarah, if she overheard them, would make fun of them and bully them endlessly. Then it's fine. They are not cool kids. They were never going to be cool kids. And so it works.
It reminded me of every time me and Mike go to do something and we look at each other and say our co-favorite movie and we're like, Eternals. And then we go and do whatever we go to do.
Everyone loves Eternals. It's everyone's favorite movie.
I hate to say this because I have so many more things to talk about. But guys, it is time for a moment of the week. And I kind of want to make this, I want to have a caveat. I do want you to have 2. Have your moment of the week, and then have like the part where you were like, my emotions are out. They're out of control. I'm going to lose it. Mike, we'll start with you.
Can I do a dumb one, and then I'll like, this made me roll my eyes, and then we do love this show.
I'll allow it.
Jordan's CPR on Jonathan is fucking pathetic. It's like he never even seen a TV show do CPR before. He was just flailing against it. What the fuck? It was crazy. His brother should have died, and he should have learned a lesson. They've never redeemed
dead
that
for
character.
too long.
And he thought CPR stood for cough, piss, rumble, and that's what he did.
He did it all, and that woke his brother up. And also, Lex Luthor's hacker boy shut down your camera. Pull out your fucking camera phone and live stream that way. Get on the TikTok and Instagram reel. But I'll say, cool, you guys hit it. The hammer coming out of the fire to bust in Doomsday's teeth was the shit. It was cool as hell. And then Lex Luthor thinking he was going to win, and then realizing I'm about to get punched out of my fucking super suit. End of the fights were slapping.
I love, like, he just keeps saying, oh, this attack did not work. I will do the same one 7 times in a row. And Superman just has the perfectly timed punch. And then the last one where they fly at each other and Lex's jowls
Yes.
like, flap in the wind.
They got like the blower on his face. He was like, I was like, yes.
He said, I am not a crook the whole way down. Caitlin, moment of the week and emotions lost of the week.
Moment of the week, definitely it's that fight scene. But what I really liked is when Clark every time he would punch Luthor, he had like some sort of saying, and it just felt so Superman. It was like an inspirational message, like, you got my wife, this is for my kid, my family, and this is for my town. And then he like socked the shit out of him where he came out of the suit, and then the hammer, and it was just so good. It was so good. That was it.
Okay. Caitlin, thanks for trying out for SNL. You said your first impression is of a man. Yeah. This is for my wife. This is for my town.
It was very good. And then the feels, obviously it's crypto, but also seeing Lois in the red dress and knowing from previous episodes what the red dress meant to both him and her. And the fact that this is the second time we've seen it. And the first time was when like she was going through her, had her surgery and had to feel like herself and sexy again for him. So it just brought it all full circle, just knowing that dress. And it was very good. It got me sobbing.
All right, I have a couple moments of the week. We talked about Daddy, which I thought as the father of a daughter would work for me, but that was the most ridiculous thing of this episode. Sans.
Yeah, that was bad.
Clark saying, the first time I died, it sucked. But this time it feels so good. And he gets up as a ghost. And he's just like,
I was waiting for, here comes the sun. Do-do-do-do.
But ultimately, my moment of the week is when Clark is older and he's hanging out with Kyle and he falls to the ground. And Kyle says, Clark, are you getting barbecued? And then just does air guitar for like 30 seconds. And then, of course, Screenwriting 101, in the very first scene of the last episode, the mayor and John are like, hey, I don't think this is working. We should break up. Of course we should. We should definitely break up forever. And then that leads to the tension of the final wedding, which is, of course, where I don't care about the death. If 2 people are getting married, I'm fucking out.
No matter what.
I can't take it. Yes. Superman and Lois, we are going to miss you. This is the end of the CW. As we know it. This is the end of who I will say is the second best Superman of all time. Caitlin, where is Hoechlin on your Superman?
Hoechlin's really high on my Superman level. He's high on my Superman. Obviously, we have to talk about my Beef Welling, which is my number one Clark Kent. Still,
Sure.
well, because he's young, he's different. He is not Superman. He is not Tyler Hoechlin. So, like, I feel like they deserve a different bracket. Who's your number one, Ryan?
It's Christopher Reeve.
Okay,
Have you seen the Superman movie?
I actually have not with Christopher.
Caitlin,
Reeve.
it is time. I know. Okay,
I know.
So this is like a TV show, but it's like double the length, and they played it in theaters.
Yeah,
We
Will you
should
watch
do
it?
a special bonus episode doing that or something. That'd
I
be a lot
would.
of fun.
Am down to watch it. I just have never done it for some reason. I don't know why.
This last week, or this last season, really, like I find that the competition between the Penguin and Superman and Lois laughable. Like, this is so clearly the better show. I never saw it coming, but like I care so much more about Superman than Batman. But you have to watch. Let's do a show on the original. Mike, rank your Superman.
Brandon Routh. George Reeves.
Norm Reeves.
Norm
on
Reeves.
Superstore.
We killed him.
That did kill me. Very Southern Californian reference. Crispin Glover, Nicolas Cage in The Flash, Christopher Reeves, Dean Cain,
Jared Leto.
Tyler Hoechlin. Flip that.
You forgot
reverse.
about Henry Cavill.
Oh, did I not say him? No, yeah, he's I like it's card because I like Henry Cavill a lot. He was just always in dog shit. But no, yeah, it's Tyler Hoechlin.
Superman's ultimate
might be my
weakness.
number one. It's just I haven't seen the original Superman since I was single digits.
Lady and gentleman, we are doing a special show.
I love it.
I have a whole new Superman love. You guys have not seen it either ever or a long time, so we're doing a special show. But aside from that, Superman Lois is over. You can watch it wherever you can. But I want to talk about Caitlin's website.
My website.
She's a man again.
My website takes down your family, your wife,
fucking town.
your fucking town. And it's because it's malware. It helps. It is. And I want to teach people how to use my malware. And that's what my website's all about.
What's the URL?
Mal.ware.
At least, you know what? Shame on them if they go. You're warning them.
Mike, you've been helping her with this website, and I feel like you've been struggling to figure out why this website exists. So do you want to sort of chime in here?
It's do you know what? It's some people are like, oh no, people get old and they're so open to scams. And what mine and Caitlin's stance, and she pitched me, and I believe in her vision, fuck old people. They should get scammed. And if they still
Why do they have money?
If they
Yeah.
still are on computers and have access to bank accounts, it should be ours.
We never had the opportunity
To have money.
to have money like they did. And that's their fault. So we take.
Yeah, Caitlin and
It's
I,
Robin Hood.
we have jars in our fridge, and we want to put money in the jar, and that's where the malware comes in.
Okay, so you guys are going to attack boomers and take their houses and cars away.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's mal.ware. And .ware is not an established end of a URL, but we're going to make that happen, right?
Yes.
All right. I do have to tell you both about Cybersprout, I think, even though it feels like you both are evil. Their design experts are well-versed in digital strategy and elegant design. Combining the two masterfully, working hand-in-hand with you, Cybersprout focuses on collaboration and goal-driven design to help make sure your money-grubbing, evil, boomer-stealing website reaches the right customers, which are, of course, old people. Cybersprout provides tools and training that make managing and tweaking your business's website a breeze. So that is cybersprout.org and, of course, mal.ware. When we come back, the rest of the shows. Now it's time for the poll list, where we talk about what else came out this week, which I believe, Caitlin, is only Creature Commandos.
That's right, Ryan. on this week's episode of Creature Commandos, on not just the first 2 episodes of Creature Commandos, but the first anything of the new DC Gunniverse. Waller and Flag, get this, form a task force of criminals. Despite being a familiar presence for DC and also soon Marvel, Creature Commandos team is a group of monsters and non-humans who are sent to Pokolavia to protect a princess from a team of alt-right incels led by Circle, Greek myth, Cersei. Greek myth, not Game of Thrones. Taste buds, I ask you this. Is this an auspicious or inauspicious start to the DC reboot? I already thought it was good. I just always forget which of those words mean what.
Auspicious is good? Wait.
Auspicious would be good.
I think it was auspicious.
It was cute.
Michael.
Is that damning with the faintest of praise, Ryan?
Can I ask you this? Is James Gunn on your sort of Lin-Manuel Miranda list of like, I've had enough?
I didn't think that. I didn't know that. Maybe. I've had a long...
Your Taika Waititi list? He should also be on that list.
Yeah, Taika for sure is on that list. Taika might be on that list harder than Lin. I love James Gunn. I've had a long and storied... I'm not quite Trauma days, but like back in when he was making stupid little indie shit, I've been in love with Gunn. And so maybe there was no move that surprised me. It was enjoyable. And it's better than so much of the DCEU. But at no point was like, holy shit, this is it, man. I liked it.
Here's what I will say. I think I liked it more than you did. But and like, don't reveal our text feed. Because when I'm watching it, I text you awful things about these shows. But then now it's time to podcast. And I think I actually did like it. And it's because he just knows the formula. Like, he knows that we have an ensemble. And he has done this multiple times, right? Whether it's Guardians or
Suicide
Slither,
Squad.
one of our
Slither.
most classic ensembles, or Super. I think you're a Super guy and I'm a Slither guy.
I love Slither, but I also like Super.
And I don't like Super, so
yes.
I'm Slither. Okay. He just knows how to push the buttons and tell a story correctly. And like, I would say throughout the first episode, I was sort of rolling my eyes. But that's what you do because first episodes have so much to do. And then when I'm watching The Bride and Frankenstein go through their things emotionally, and then in their like hip, every scene has a gimmick artistically, I was just sort of in, dude. I just sort of bought all in.
Them punching each other through literal time and space, that's how you fucking montage.
And just doing the thing where like every year that you're in, you're wearing the most clothes of that year you possibly can.
Yes. And just setting up the first episode, you're like, Rick Flag, because he's the human, he's going to be the heart of this team. And very quickly, and Gunn is good, so he's probably going to rotate. But I think, no, the Bride is what we're here for. She, one, is the powerhouse, so it's cool to watch her fight. But two, she's Rocket Raccoon, which James Gunn thinks of himself. And so he's going to put the most work into her. Super prickly exterior, very angry, hates everybody, is actually going to be the part of the team that makes it all work.
And the Gunnian moment I think we got from her is when the princess comes down, the Disney-looking princess comes down to these Suicide Squad-looking people, and Rick Flag is like, well, hello there, lady. The Bride looks over it like, of course. You know, she has that thing. She has that like sucking teeth thing she always does. And I don't know if she's always or if she's into Rick Flag, but she's at least rolling her eyes at like, oh, the pretty blonde girl. Great.
Right. How original.
Did you see who voiced her?
The pretty blonde girl or the Bride?
The Bride.
Okay, because pretty blonde girl was Borat 2.
She legally changed her name.
Do we need to learn her name at some point?
Maria Baklova.
Maria Baklova. And then the Bride, I recognized her, and now I can't remember her name.
Indira Varma, which I think the most iconic role is like the weird wife, husband person of the serpent that got destroyed by the mountain in Game of Thrones when Pablo.
Oh, okay.
That's
But
probably
she's
her
great.
most iconic. Yeah, but she is amazing, and yeah, I do agree with you. I think he's got the thing of like, I don't care. Oh God, now I care, and like sometimes it comes off poorly. Sometimes like it comes off forced, and I'm gonna reference Rocket's caged friends in Guardians 3 of like we
Friends.
now we know the recipe gun, but I don't know, man. I feel like that Suicide Squad, he tried it out, and now it's here.
I see. I still. I mean, we have a whole season. I could be proved wrong. I think Suicide Squad, he was sharper than this, and it might be voice acting is different than acting. I think Indira is doing a great job. Tudyk, obviously, doing a great job as Phosphorus. Sean Gunn as the Nazi-hating robot, doing great. Frank Grillo, who a lot of this is handling on, has not quite mastered how voice acting is different than acting, but it might be, and this is as a Purge lover, that Frank Grillo has never really grasped acting.
Oh, you're talking shit on the guy who dumped the Marvel Universe for the DC Universe. This is really shocking from you on this podcast. I do think that Frank Grillo has figured out how to maybe not act in sex scenes, but voice sex scenes, because him and the princess railed.
And then this kind of comedy-based cartoon, because it's a comic-based cartoon, the jokes are hit or miss, right? Sometimes you roll your eyes, and you've heard that before. Some the underlings waiting to tell the princess and Flag what's going on, so having to stand outside the bathroom while they fucking rail the hardest anybody's ever railed was very funny. I did enjoy that.
And like, look, it's late at night, right? This is the 11:35 sketch.
This is on Toonami.
Yeah. James Flag, Rick Flag, denying the princess, and then he gives into it, and then she throws her shoes off and pulls his underwear down with her feet. I went through some feelings there.
Is Ryan into feet now?
I'm not. Okay. Let's go
Just
to Caitlin.
cartoon feet. They're clean.
Okay, so is getting from what you guys have said about this is going to be a comedy, and it's mature and it's fun. You guys like it?
I think that, like, I mean, and it is weird that this is like setting up the Gunniverse forever, but I think that it is in that Guardians way, or that Gun way of everything will be surface level funny, grosser than you think, and emotional, like has a heart in its core. You know, like that's just what he does.
Okay, all right.
I have a couple questions for you, Caitlin. One, the audacity to have Alan Tudyk on your cast, and you have somebody who voices an animal, and you give it to your brother instead of Alan Tudyk, who has voiced an animal in the last 8 Disney movies.
He has?
Yes. Name a Disney movie over the last 8 years.
Was he the chicken in Moana?
He's the chicken in Moana.
What?
I know my 2 dicks.
I should hope you do. He is the goat in Wish, animal and all the. Caitlin, back to you.
Okay.
There is a Jamie Kennedy reference in this episode. What is happening in this world?
I want to know what kind of like Diddy party was at Jamie Kennedy's house where he had to be like, anyone who's here, like, you have to talk about me or I will release the pictures. Like, I feel like that had to have happened. Like, whatever this party was, like, he's like, I like superhero people and I want them all here and they must mention me in their show.
Now, there's a line in this episode that didn't happen in Superman and Lois a while ago where Dr. Phosphorus says, wow, somebody needs to update their references. So at least they like point it out.
Oh,
what
always
the fuck
good.
has happened?
Always funny. But no, they're doing that, and this is, you know, making fun of Eastern Europeans is safe. They're different from us. They talk funny, but we're allowed to make fun of them.
Right.
And we've seen versions of this, but this did get me because it's the head of Princess Borat 2's guard, and he says, we're just like Americans, yes? We pull pranks like Jamie Kennedy experiment. We do Super Bowl shuffle. We say, what's up? And it's not saying Jamie Kennedy is cool. It's saying these people are so backwards.
Right. Americans are terrible. But, Mike, the line that leads into that whole bit is what was the funniest. The prank line. Do you remember the prank line?
No.
All right, so the creature commandos roll into this castle, and everybody rolls out and pulls swords, and they're about to kill them. And they're all focused on Rick Flag, and the guard that Mike is talking about says, "Everyone, murder this man." I don't know why, but like to tell everyone to murder one person, that's a funny command. When I become some supreme leader of something, I would like to say something like that.
You know what? I'm gonna make that happen for you, Buster.
Thanks, buddy. Mike, real quick before Caitlin bounces us out, with the whole like alt-right dork incel people that are like Cersei soldiers, do you think that James Gunn is going to attempt to pull The Boys and be like, fuck DC fans, I'm going to literally kick them I'm going to have the bride kick them in the face?
Yeah, this is definitely in the vein of The Boys and She-Hulk of I know what insults will be railed at me on Reddit. I'm going to hit you first. I'm 8-miling your ass. No, 8-miling is when you're making fun of yourself. So yeah. I'm attacking you before you can attack me. I know exactly what you're going to say, so fuck off.
But yeah, I mean,
you're the villains.
We talked about this with the Penguin, and we talked about this with a lot of Batman stuff about how they garner the wrong audience for the wrong reasons, and I think that they are striking first here. That's, I think, it's not establishing the Gunniverse on a whole, right? We never hear about like some ship landing in Smallville or anything, but I think the one major step of this is like, fuck these piece of shit DC fans.
Yeah, we hate men's rights activists. I mean, there were very quickly set up ties to Peacemaker Season 1 and to Suicide Squad. Because they referenced Peacemaker Season 1, they referenced Amanda Waller's daughter blowing up her spot, and everybody knows who Amanda is and what she does, and that's why they can't use humans now. That's why it has to be Task Force M. That's Peacemaker Season 1. And he said, what happened to your son, Cordo Maltese? We're so sorry. That's Suicide Squad. And of course, the internet's like, this is so confusing. And the rest of the internet's like, no, it's not. What he says is canon. What doesn't canon. The smartest of all the people are saying, who gives a fuck? Just enjoy the thing.
Wow.
All right.
Okay, so moments of the week.
One of my favorite bands occasionally shows up in pop culture, and it's always surprising.
Oh, and, my God. Wait, they show up in pop culture outside of this show?
They do. In Wrist Cutters, A Love Story, circa 2006. And then, what was that? Everything is Illuminated. If you're going to set your first couple episodes in Eastern Europe, why not get a gypsy punk band? And I'm allowed to say that word because that's how they describe themselves. This whole 2 episodes is scored by Gogol Bordello to the point that they even show up as cartoon versions of themselves during a fight scene. I fucking love it so much. I like no.
I have a I don't know, predisposition to dislike things that Mike and my wife like so much, and that's on me. That's a failure of mine.
It's because that's self-loathing, because we both like you so much.
Fuck. I'm the Gogol Bordello of your guys' real life. But they are in this show, and if it's just for the first 2 episodes, then I think that's a failure. Like they have to be the Simon and Garfunkel of The Graduate of this show. Like they have to actually go all the way through with this. Ultimately, I do like it. We didn't talk enough or at all about Frankenstein and what he is doing. My moment of the week is Frankenstein after 200 years. 300 years is on a yacht with bikini girls dancing. Honeys. And I love it because that is what rich people think they should be doing with their time. It's not like nobody wants that. It's just like, I think that this is what I should be doing. That's the perfect way of showing how depressed he is not him in like a closet crying, but on a yacht alone with other girls dancing. I'm excited for this show.
Wow. Well, I definitely feel like I want to watch that now. I might watch these first 2 and see if I want to continue, but where can the people watch this?
It is Thursdays on Max.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's the end of the poll list.
Yeah, I should take back the rant. No, you handle it, Caitlin.
I sure. I feel like I gonna throw those. There's Dasher, there's Prancer, there's the reins to them.
There's Donna Dixon.
There's Donna Dixon.
Mike, tell us about websites.
I've been buried in Caitlin poop blankets for so long. Let's see if I remember this. Popfilter.co is where all the things we make live. That's where you should go. Be a lunatic. Favorite that website. Bookmark it. And that's how you listen to podcasts now. Plus 18-year-old articles. Doesn't that sound fun? You can also, once again, go to cybersprout.net. They are your partner for the digital world.
Oh, I, for the 49th consecutive week, said cybersprout. The wrong thing. So it is .net, and thanks, Mike, for correcting me. Caitlin, I'm going to throw to you for other podcasts, and I would like to, as a secret code word, say to you before you do this, 1996. The key word is 1996.
Crazy. So I'm going to tell you about a podcast, and it's called Movie of the Year, where there's a year and there's some good movies, and this podcast talks about the best of them. And if I were to guess what year that we're on right now, I would say it's 1990. Six. Yeah. It's 1996, and there's a Hunchback of Notre Dame, and that's all I really remember.
That is coming up in a couple weeks. This very week, we are covering Caitlin's favorite movie, Trainspotting.
I think about that often because it's my favorite.
Every time Caitlin looks at her Trainspotting poster on her wall, she's like, should I stop doing heroin? No.
No.
Choose
heroin.
Stop. Mike, social media. What about it?
At your pop filter on Instagram, popfilter.blueski. This is where we skeet on Blueski, and that's we're popping off on social media.
And Caitlin, if you have any issues with our takes on the Superman and Lois finale, how should you email us?
Email us at contact@popfilter.co and tell us what you thought about Superman and Lois. Tell us if Ryan should get into feet. And tell us
Yes.
where Mike can put all of my poop blankets.
On my feet. And we will take pictures, and we're going to make $1 million.
The guy
That
made
is all
$1 million.
That is all the shows this week. Next week, let's not talk about normal shows. We're going to talk about Spider-Man because Black Cat is there. And guys, Black Cat is like Catwoman, but if she was Marvel. Enough said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is enough said, Ryan.